I find that in doing research on you and even your beginnings, it seems to be a path that you were meant to go on. Like as a little kid growing up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Your parents were carnies?
Well, it was kind of like, yes, but not like freak show carnies.
No.
Kind of like food concessions and things. Like my mom really grew up in that world. And then when she married my dad, she dragged him into it. And then when we were born, we got dragged into it. But as a kid,
you were always at a carnival.
Yeah, like it was mostly in the summers because we were in school. So summertime, we had to work the carnivals. But they weren't like, they were kind of low rent and always in bad neighborhoods.
Right.
And so we sort of hated it, but we sort of liked it as kids. I don't know.
Well, you don't know any different, right? So you're working at a carnival. Your segue out of a carnival, I read, was like a kind of a riot broke out. There was gunshots, fires. They were burning down tents. You're a little kid at a carnival.
Yeah. This was, I think, 1977 because I remember, or it was, I don't know. It was around that time. And it was just like the typical carnival. You know, all the gambling tents are rigged. So I guess you would.
Is that true?
Well, at this show it was. I can't speak for every carnival, but there's this really good movie called Carney with Gary Busey and Jodie Foster. And that is exactly how it is. That movie, and it's really kind of sleazy. That's the world. Anyway, so yeah, these guys were getting cheated on the tents, and I think they finally figured it out. And they were drunk. They came back, and they lit the tent on fire. But the whole midway just went. Everything went up on fire because nothing was fireproofed, obviously. And it was just one after another. And then you started hearing popping sounds, and all the guys that worked like the tilt-a-whirl and all these things started pulling out guns. Which none of this I knew was happening as a kid until it happened. And that was when my parents were like, we're done. It got all crazy and violent. And
That's good parenting.
Yeah.
No,
well, they knew where to draw the line.
Yeah.
At the fire and the shooting and then the gunshots and the...
Yeah. The last thing I remember was, I can't remember this guy's name, but he was yelling to me and my brother, because my brother was there too, who was even younger. And he was like, hey, come over here. And just as he was telling us to get out of the way of the chaos, somebody hit him in the head with a hammer. And it was like... And
you saw that?
It?
Yeah, he was yelling to us and someone... Yeah.
And what did you see?
I saw kind of his head kind of bust open and just blood gush out everywhere and him fall down.
And that's when you said,
I don't know.
What a great scene for a film.
Yeah.
Carnival life is amazing. Let's go to Disney.
But just to actually, not a lot of kids have actually seen somebody's head bust open. And because a lot of in your music videos and a lot of your movies, there's a lot of blood and guts.
I guess so. Remember how they say if you watch too many violent movies and things, you become desensitized? You do. And that was me. So I was very desensitized to that type of stuff. And I don't know. The funniest thing about that whole carnival incident, I remember going back to school, and I don't know, maybe it was like third grade or something, and you had to write what happened that summer. And I wrote that. Yeah, I think most kids were like, oh, we went canoeing.
Yes. and Rob, well, your name's not Rob. Was it Rob? It's not Rob.
Yeah.
Your first name's Rob?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I know that Rob Zombie is not your real name.
No, but Rob is my name. That is my
not
name.
Bob?
No, that was my dad. And I would always get really pissed as a little kid when someone would call me Bob.
Not to be confused with Bob Zombie, your dad.
Right.
Yes.
That's his name.
Yes. So,
wait, were you desensitized when that happened? Were you already watching a lot of horror and...
Probably, yeah. It didn't give me nightmares. It didn't bother me. I mean, I knew it was messed up, but I don't know. Maybe it was like, it just seemed like it was on TV to me. I don't know. I remember just always watching movies I was too young to be watching. So maybe that was why.